When we talk about the water going down, that is not a trigger for people to go home, necessarily. A very deliberate process has to be followed to make sure it's safe for them to go home.
About 1,200 people pushed out by floodwaters have registered with the Red Cross, but officials believe many more, maybe even 3 times as many, are out of their homes. And it could be a long time before they're back in their own beds.
Out of probably 30 camps altogether, there's maybe 5 left. Devastating. Hot water tank, anything you can think of, anybody'd have, and memories and mementos, it's a shame it's just floating.
New Brunswick's financial assistance program doesn't cover recreational properties in disasters, meaning camp or cottage owners are likely on their own, footing the whole bill for cleaning up and rebuilding. And with 100 roads still closed, including part of the Trans-Canada Highway, it doesn't look like that'll happen for a while. But what has become clear to lots of folks in the flood zone, you can never have too many friends and neighbors. Sometimes they're the only thing standing between you and trouble. And as Jayla Bernstein learned, with enough hands, you can hold the water back.
When the mounting St. John River threatened the doorstep of this historic church, the parish priest and his team of volunteers didn't give up.
So the call went out to the community, and we had probably 40 or 45 people here, all kind of coordinated, working together.
As the floodwaters inched closer to St. Paul's, this is all that stood between the rising St. John River and nearly 2 centuries of history.
We had a dump truck load of sand here. We had a team of people with filling sandbags, and basically realizing that if the wind comes up any more or the level goes up any higher, it's going to come right across, right into the foundation.
The building itself escaped unscathed, yet the sandbags couldn't stop the river from finding a way inside. Beneath the church, the water threatens a brand new $5,000 furnace.
It's just touching the bottom of the engine over there. So if it stops there, as good as it can get, I guess, but hopefully it doesn't go any higher. This image is just one of the toughest ones to see because...
As Reverend Kane surveys the damage, what stings the most is the cemetery.
Yeah, you've been here with families at their moment of crisis, and now we're having our own kind of moment of crisis as a community, but these folks have fought floods in the past, and we can't do anything for them.
Kane says he's not the type of person who accepts defeat. With the church shored up, he led his team down the road where the river threatened to destroy a retirement dream.
It was almost to the point of, we can't do this. It's just not gonna, we can't hold it back any longer.
Then the troops arrived. Even the local bishop got his hands dirty.
We had all kinds of, like with the fire department, neighbors. This man right here shoveled.
Well, we worked away at it.
Yes.
Everybody took their part.
Now, a massive sandbag barrier holds the forceful river at bay. The retirement dream still alive.
It's just been phenomenal, the offers of help, and we're so grateful and feel very much a part of the community.
But as Kane says, this is just what it means to be a New Brunswicker. Jayla Bernstein, CBC News, Oak Point, New Brunswick.
Now, persevering in the face of what you can see is one thing. The high water, the submerged basements, the impassable roads. But there's also concern tonight about what lies beneath. Those floodwaters, officials say, are heavily contaminated. In places like Rothsay, New Brunswick, the floodwaters have overwhelmed sewage systems.
So unfortunately, what that means is that the sewage from Rothsay is still going into the river, but it's untreated.
And because a lot of the flooding is in agricultural areas,
you get manure from manure piles around farms. All of that's going into the river system. I'm sure that there are animals that have drowned that are in the river system.
And then there's the threat from toxic chemicals.
We also have to be vigilant for oil spills and diesel tank spills.
That means stacking sandbags, wading into backyards. All of it carries risks. Without precautions, it's dangerous for property and dangerous for human health.